Hi, welcome to RT Angie's DIYs. Welcome to my channel.
Hey guys, how are you? So I just wanted to hop on here to show you that there's times where, and I'm sure some of you crafty painting friends have leftover plates like I do. So when that happens, here is a really good thing. Now I've actually have more of these, but they're already in the trash. So, and it just kind of dawned on me and thought I would show you a little something you can do with this. Always recycling and thinking of different projects. So grab your, let's see, let me grab my pencil. So grab your pencil, and what you want to do is just kind of draw a teardrop. Just a little teardrop. So if it makes it easier, I mean, you could freehand cut it, or you could use your template by just, you know, basically just making these teardrop shapes, just like that. So there's your little teardrop shape. So I'm going to go ahead and continue just doing like these little teardrop shapes. I'm going to do one over here. And this one's a good one here. And I kind of like this gray there. It's gray and white combo that's going on here. So I'm just trying to do my best at sort of just doing the shapes like that. So I'm going to grab my little scissors here. I kind of started right here. And then I'm just going to cut out those little shapes. And these can also be heart shapes if you want. I'm just going to cut them as these like little teardrop shapes. And just going to do it like that. Just going to do a little teardrop shape. And that's what you're going to do. You can cut it any really shape you want. I'm going to cut it in my teardrop shape, because this is how my creative mind starts to wander and think about things. Because when you're an artist, I really do believe that there's times where you just see the potential in things. So I'm just cutting these like so. And then you could just continue. And this is a great one because it has a little bit of that turquoise and blue, that blue navy blue mixture. And and I'm using, of course, the part that's got the paint, not like just the paper plate. And because it's been painted on a paper plate, as you can see, it's almost like cardstock. So it's a really nice kind of like little cardstock going on there. So let me cut this portion out to make it easier for me to manipulate the curves. And if you want to do these for Valentine's Day, I guess you can just draw a heart shape. But I am just doing something a little bit different. And you could do that. And but this is a good way to reuse your paint that dries up on your plate, that, you're working on a project and you walk away, you gotta run and get the kids, start dinner, then you come back and your paint's all dried up in your plate. and you're like, oh, well, you can always reuse the plate. You can add more paint on top. But if you're like me, and you like to reuse a new plate, because sometimes when paint dries, it can, like crackle, like it's you get like that chippy paint in there. So I like to start fresh sometimes. And I already showed you on my page another way to reuse these paints is by, if it's still wet, to just place it on your sketchbook to make colorful backgrounds. Oops. So that's another way to reuse the paint that's, if it's still fresh, into your, just by doing, basically just mixing the paints up and then putting it on your sketchbook. So I'm almost done. Just give me a few minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and cutting all these out. Just wanted you to show the process of how I thought of a good way that you can repurpose these, especially because spring is in the air soon, I hope. It's very cold here in South Carolina for South Carolina weather. So I'm going to cut these last few teardrop shapes. And then you will see my little vision coming to life. And hopefully it'll turn out the way I think it'll turn out. I'm not sure if it will, but we'll see. And I probably should have my glue gun ready. So let me turn that on. Turn that on. But for South Carolina, it's pretty cold here today, at least. Okay, I did that one. Is that all of it? It's missing one more piece. Oh, it fell. And so yeah, so let's do these last three. Now I'm holding my so this is what we're doing. And I'm just gonna cut this teardrop shape. Not even being too perfect, really. Last two. I'm just gonna cut it around. And then you could shape it. So that is what I'm doing. Got one more petal. I'm just gonna go around, and they're not really all the same size. So as you can see, because I'm just really using the paint color that's there. And then that little bit of green, I'm actually gonna use that and cut that like the circle that it already is. It's gonna be my focal point. Kind of like my little center. And that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, and then I have my glue gun. Hopefully it will start up here soon. And you could do the rest. You could do the same thing with these. I'm just gonna start off with this one. So let me grab my trash can here. Oop. So I don't get rid of those little extras. Okay, so now, and I'm just going to use a cardstock here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play around with these, and these become now flower petals. So I'm going to kind of mix and match and see how I like it. This one's not cut all the way. And then we're just going to make a really cool, so from something that would have been trash, now we're going to make it into treasure. Okay, so then we're just going to spread them around. So spread all the colors around so it sort of gives you a somewhat of a pattern. So you kind of have a little bit of some kind of pattern going on. And let's see. That one. I think I like that one here. Can do this one there. And we can put this blue one in between. So there is somewhat of a pattern. So there you have now something new that you made out of something that looks like trash. So now we can start kind of closing it in a little bit if you'd like. I'm going to move it up a little bit. And we're just going to do the petals like that. And I think that's the best shape I'm going to get. I don't think I can go any tighter. So it's going to probably be like the best little shape. And then that was going to be my center here. Kind of like that. So now I have what I like to call some sort of basically like a floral, some kind of flower there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sort of gently make a little circle around here like this. Okay. And then I'm going to move these out of the way. And I'm probably going to go a little bit outside of the circle. Just like that. Just like that. A little bit outside the circle. And then I'm going to use that same green that I used, which was this citrus. And if I don't want to ruin that, I'm going to put it here in an index card. And grab a small brush. And we're just going to paint that. And I am on a cardstock paper right now. So you can make this into a pretty card. And if you don't remember the color that you did that center, like that piece I had before, it's perfectly fine. Just pick a color similar to your center that you want to do it. So if your center is going to be purple, you know, then pick a purple. The closest color that you can have it to your center. I like to be a little bit, want to be a little bit similar to some kind of greenery so it looks like a stem. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a long stem going down just by using my little flat brush. And then let me switch to a small round. And then I'm going to grab that and I'm just going to make like a leaf. Just like that. Okay. Very simple, very simple. And then I'm going to probably reuse this or just let it dry and use it as another petal. So I'm going to go put that over there to the side. Let's try this real quick. I don't want my petals to fly away, so I'm just gonna hold it down and make sure I dry the center. And I really didn't calculate the position of where this is gonna be. So we're just gonna try our best on how we are going to make this into a pretty little card. So now I have this center here. That's gonna go right there, and that's gonna blend really perfectly there with that. And we'll do something a little different over here. So what I'm gonna do is I want to grab that center. I'm gonna grab a Sharpie marker. Let me grab my pencil first. I'm gonna hold it down and I'm just gonna outline that center. Like so. And it's not really the perfect circle, but that's fine. And then I'm gonna outline it in the black. I'm just gonna try to make it a little darker and thicker like that. Okay? So then I'll grab this little bit of this center and then just kind of hold and place it there. Okay? So now let's figure out our petals again, because we kind of moved them around. And now we're gonna wanting to put these back together like a puzzle. Try to figure out our, oh, that paint wasn't dry there. Well, look at that. Well, that's okay. We'll fix that in just a minute. And let's see, we've got some yellows and some red here. Put a red up here. Put a red one down here. So we have like our setup. See, just like that. So once what we want to do is we want to get as closely to that center, but not overlapping our little petals. So it takes a little practice, but it'll make a cute little piece. So just like that, trying to get that there as best as we can. So once we have a kind of a somewhat of a position like that, and then we can figure out our pasting. So we want it to be all in there. So it makes a really pretty flower. And that's way you could coordinate and mix it around like that. So once you know, so look how pretty and colorful we did this out of trash. So now when I know kind of where I want my position of my flower, I put a little bit of that glue just on the tip really, and then press it down. And I'm not worried about that pencil, my pencil marks. Oops. Because I can go back and outline. And so just be careful with your glue gun. So I'm just adding my little glue and trying to butt it up as closely as I can to the next petal. So now that we've got that going, I'll just kind of move ours a little bit. And then just kind of doing that. Don't worry about the glue stringies because we're going to move those out in the way. Put that one right here. There's that one. I believe I had that one there. Let's see. So I'm trying to get that to go all the way around. So what we're trying to do with the petals is we want to cover that circle area, so you don't really see a gap. That's why we painted that center green. I'm just going to do it like that. And just kind of play with it. And that's the pretty cool thing about it, because, you know, not each petal is the same size. So I think that's the cool thing about this whole project, is that. Put one right there. I think I can put one right here. Let's see. I could put one right there. Let's see, because we have a lot of pink on that side. I could do it there. Let's do it there. Okay, just a little bit of overlapping there. Okay, so that is how we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna grab my just a brush to brush off all the glue stringies and pull those away. So we got all the glue stringies. Just kind of pull them away. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of my white, because we did get some white, some green, sorry. So I'm just going to do a little bit of white. Just a little bit of the drop. It's not a lot. We're just trying to cover now our little mistakes. It's kind of like whiteout. Just trying to cover a little mistake here that we made. With our green here, just grab some white and then just go over that little area that you did. And just like that, and then it just disappears. Okay, it might be a little spot, but that's fine. Okay, so that's how we do that. And now we're gonna dry this. And isn't that such a pretty flower? So you just made art out of scrap paint. So just like that, just made art out of scrap paint. So it's a paper plate pieces of scrap paint cut into petal shapes. Great little project you could also do with your kids. And so then what I'm going to do is, let's see, I'm going to grab, I have this gold marker pen, so let's see. And I think I can go with the gold and just kind of brush, kind of go over those lines with from the pencil and my gold. So it adds a little bit of shimmer. You could do it in silver too. This is where you kind of play around with it and have fun with it. You could use a micron black pen as well. But I know where my black pen is right now, and that requires me to have to leave the room. So I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that gold there in the center. Put some highlights of that in my leaf and my stem. So then what you can do is, I'm going to go ahead and have a white paint pen here, and then you could just add some highlight. So you could just kind of go around and just sort of do like the little shapes, just like a little bit of highlight in your little petals. So this is a really good mixed media piece of just using recycled you know, paint stuff. So you gotta make, like they say, make lemon out of lemonade. Okay, there's another glue stringy there. And then I'll put a little highlight here and here inside my flower petal. You could put some in your leaf if you want. And that's it. That's how you make your little flower. So look at that little flower petal. So how cool is that? And then if you want to, you can make it into a card. Of course, I didn't cut it to a good size for it to be a card, like to fold it. But there is, let's see. So what I can do is I can measure on both sides. So I'm going to put my ruler up against it, because that's about a 1 inch exact away from it. And then I'm just going to cut it straight. And I actually did this on a piece of cardstock paper that I did not know there was an image behind this, so that's fine. We're just gonna cut that. And you could do so much to the background. You really can. You can use so much in the background as far as what you want to do with this. So what I would do is I would get like this is like a little 8 by 10, and I would try to do the reverse, and I could stick it something like this. So you could have it like inside a reverse canvas, and there you go. So there is a way, and you could make this as a card where it opens up and the inside. And so you can make this as a card. You could put it as art inside a frame like this, and you know, you could paint the edges and then hang it. So a lot of possibilities what you can do. But look at how cute this colorful flower. We added a few highlights, added some hints of gold. Really simple. And so now, and what a great way, because now you went from this to this. So I hope you enjoyed this little quick DIY tutorial of how you can take your leftover scrap paint and not throw it in the trash, all of it. Cut them into petals, cut them into hearts now for Valentine's Day, and you can make you cut them and then put it on a nice background to make a card for Valentine's Day, or even a birthday. Like, wouldn't that be a really sweet, happy birthday flower for someone? And they can tell that you made that. So really cool, almost like two-dimensional, because if you see that, it'll stick above. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this, and everyone have a great day. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.